Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be getting into the 5.6 Geolog for surface currents. And when you are looking at your what do you see question, I want you to key into a couple things. I want you to really pay attention to temperature. And any clues, any inferences, any evidence that you can find to show what the temperature of the current is. And you have two currents on this picture. You have your Gulf Stream current and you have your Labrador current. So what inferences can you find that show how warm or cold these currents are? In our investigation, we are going to be looking at the rate or the speed that some of these items that fall off of cargo ships in between Asia and the United States, how fast they move. And in this case, we're going to be looking at sneakers. And in this table, you will find a similar table in your Geolog. You're going to be looking at the day that it spilled or the day that the shoe was discovered by beachcombers. The latitude, so just a quick remember that oops, oh my gosh. Mr. Malvin or Mr. Gunn would shoot me. Latitude is horizontal and longitude is vertical. And you'll also see the distance that the shoe traveled before it was discovered. And you will end up using the distance and the day to calculate your rate or your speed. So just like your car travels in miles per hour, the shoes are going to be traveling in kilometers per day. And when you are calculating your kilometers per day, you're going to want to look at the change in the kilometers. So here, oh, and they figured out the distance for you. So you have it traveling 2,654 kilometers between the day that, our time zero, the day that it fell off the ship, and day 190. So if we were going to look at this, we would have 2,654 kilometers, and you're going to want to include your units, divided by the difference in days. And in this case, we're going from day 1 time 0 to 190, so it will be 190 days. And you can calculate and divide that out. If you were going to go to the next one, you would use the kilometers. So in this case, 222 kilometers divided by the difference between 229 and 190, because that's the total number of days that went by. So to figure that out, you're going to look at 249, subtract 190, and you will get the number of days. And I'll let you guys calculate that out. I don't have a calculator right in front of me. But that number will end up going right in here. And you'll divide that out, figure out what the rate is, and you'll use that to figure out what the speed of the shoes was and how fast they were going between each different points. Now, we're not going to just figure out how fast we're going. We're going to figure out where they were as well. And here we're looking at a map of the Pacific Ocean. And when you are plotting your points, I want you to key into a couple of things. Please remember that you have one of your meridians right here at 180. And on either side, you are looking at degrees west of that meridian and degrees east. Now, I know that you guys are pretty much experts right now after looking at geography in government, but it may be helpful to draw a line on your map to show where that meridian is. And just a little reminder for, hey, I need to remember whether it's in east or west, or your longitude is in east or west. You also have your latitude going up the side, and remember, latitude is horizontal. Now, say our shoe was found at 40 degrees north, and let's say 125 degrees west. I'll end up going up 40 degrees north, and then I'm going, so right about here, and then I'm going to want to figure out 125. Now I have 120, and I have 140, so this line in the middle is going to be 130, and 125 I'm going to go about halfway in between. So if I'm going halfway in between, up to 140, I have a point right there on my map. If my shoe was, let's see, over in Japan, I would be looking at a latitude of about 40 degrees north again, and about 140 degrees east. And that point will be right about there. So very different places depending on whether it is west or east. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that you have all of the skills necessary to go through and do this geolog. Go through, take your time, but move steadily. If you have a question, let somebody know, or go back and watch the video. You may find it helpful and you may have your answers there. Anyway, I will see you in class.